Deion Sanders, probably the biggest name that you think of at the cornerback position. But he was a guy that if there was a tackle to be made, he made sure he was not the one making it. You, on the other hand, you take that head on. I mean, you finished your career with 169 total tackles. You're a guy who does not fear the physicality part of the game.
Exactly. A lot of people, it's crazy. A lot of people will say I'm undersized, but I feel like I play like I'm the same size as a lot of other corners, because a lot of other corners will be bigger than me or taller, but I feel like they don't come up and tackle like me. They don't have the same heart as me, the same, like, they don't come with the same effort. They don't come with the same love and passion for the game. So, like, it's nothing but passion and love and a lot of heart behind the tackles. So I feel like I stand out in that part, because I don't care how big you are, tall you are, fast you are, nothing's going to stop me from attempting to tackle you, and I'm not going any slower depending on your side. I'm confident in myself.
And it's not just the tackling part of the game. I mean, you finished your senior year with 4 picks. According to the UNLV site, 16 passes defensed. I know in another interview I was listening to and doing my prep for this, they mentioned 12 passes defensed. And you quickly pointed out that's just what they have on paper. Is 16 all they have on paper, or are there even more than 16?
I think it's just 16. I watched film. A lot of them, some of them they didn't even put on there, but you know, I can't control the stats. I could just control what I could do. So,
and listen, and not only do you control what you do, you control what you do well. I mean, you are a guy that is going to lock it down on your side of the field, and you're also going to punish the guy who comes into your area by putting them down with a nice tackle. So, we know that when it comes to playing football, Jericho Flowers is a football player. But I want to talk to you a little bit about your major in criminal justice. What made you decide on doing something like criminal justice as your major in college?
Honestly, I just grew up watching. My favorite show is Criminal Minds. Just grew up watching that a lot. And I just wanted to see the process. So it just taught me a lot outside of everything. Is just police. It taught me a lot of things outside of being an officer. It taught me a lot of jobs, a lot of opportunities, a lot of things about our justice system that I just didn't know. So just going into that major just taught me a lot. There's no specific job or anything that I want out of it, but there's jobs that I've realized that I could do out of it that will be a benefit to me. And actually, there's some jobs that I actually exactly like the show that I liked growing up. So it was just a good experience, and I just wanted to learn more about what goes on in the world in that field. So it was just amazing.
Well, we also know that your first choice of job is going to be football player. So we're rooting for you hard to make sure that football player becomes the job that you end up having. And maybe you can end up being like Shaq, right? He was a basketball player who was also a sheriff. So there could be a job there for you too, a part-time gig off season. Tell me a little bit about your number. You started with the number 32 and you changed to 7. What went into that?
So growing up, I always wore number 1 and number 0. And then my brother and my dad wore 7 basically all their life. So my senior year of high school, I chose number 7. I finished off with 7, and I just stuck with it ever since. And when I came to UNLV, they put me at number 32, but I was a freshman, so I didn't have the authority, or I couldn't even ask the coach to change my number at the time. So me, it's more like a go play football instead of look at the number on your jersey. So I went out and played at 32. And when I played receiver, they loved me after that first year I played receiver. And I got my overtime win and my overtime touchdowns. And it was just a big experience, and it put me from the little freshman to a guy on the team that can actually play. So I just went upstairs and asked the coach if I could change my number, and he was like, "Of course, of course." And ever since then, he just let me wear number 7, and number 7 just means a lot to me and my family because my dad wore 7, so it's just always something I wore. I didn't wear it because of him, but I wore it because of him. If you get what I'm saying.
I hear you. I'm gonna have to replay this for my son because he will not wear my number. But then again, I never played football like he did. So
my dad tells me that too. Because when I was younger, I never wore his number ever. I didn't want to wear 7. I wanted to wear 1, but for some reason, 7 is my favorite number now. But it used to be 1.
And you're part of a big family. You mentioned your dad, your brother. You have 5 sisters. That's a lot of estrogen in the house, my friend.
Yeah.
What's the toughest part about being only one of 2 brothers and having all those sisters around?
I wouldn't even really say there's tough parts. It was actually it was smooth because we all grew up in the same house. We all grew up together. So it wasn't like my family right now, we're all real close. So I wouldn't say there was anything that was like hard. I feel like the only thing would be like helping being there for my sisters because most of them are younger than me. Just being there for them and just showing them that love that they need from somebody besides their dad. Because, you can always have love from your parents, but the sibling love is different. That connection and friendship is just different. So I would say that's the main thing. There's nothing really hard, but that's the main thing that I focused on, just being there for them and showing them love. Just showing them that family is everything.
He is at Flowers Jericho on Twitter, so you can follow him there. What is something that people should know that we haven't touched on here, Jericho? What's something that people need to know about Jericho Flowers, the man?
A lot of things people need to know is that I love being underestimated. I love being underestimated because when I get that opportunity, I'm going to shine and I'm going to show out in front of any and everybody. And I have so much heart that I'm not going to turn down anything. I want to play every position. I'm looking forward to playing special teams and making my name big on special teams before anything else, just to help the team. I want to do anything to help the team. I want to go out there work hard. I'm going to work hard every practice and every game. Every time I touch the field, I'm going to work hard and stand behind my word and just help the team.
Excellent. Hey, during this coronavirus quarantine, what's been one of the most creative workouts that you've had to do since we're all staying at home at this point?
Go out and do feet on the field, so I do jump rope a lot just to stay alive.
The jump rope is an underrated apparatus, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely is. I feel like everybody should invest in one.
We have, I think, 3 or 4 jump ropes in this house because my son, his coach has been pushing jump rope on him. My son's a bigger boy. He's probably going to be one of the big uglies if he continues playing football. But everyone can jump rope, not just the little guys, the big guys too.
Yeah, I feel like people don't realize why boxers' feet move so fast, but you never know.
Exactly. Jericho Flowers, you are going to be a steal in the draft. If you are a scout listening to this program right now, you need to watch some of this tape. You need Jericho Flowers on your team. This is a football player through and through. Really excited for your future, Jericho. Look forward to hearing your name on the draft, however they decide to announce it or broadcast it. But I have a strong feeling we're definitely going to hear it at some point in one of the 3 days. And good luck to you, my friend.
Thank you.
That'll do it for my interviews with Sean Riley and Jericho Flowers. Jericho Flowers, man, I got to tell you right now, you got to go look at his tape. You got to read his stuff. That kid is a football player. That guy is going to be such a steal for a team. It's not even a question. I would start my team with a Jericho Flowers. That's the type of mentality when I'm putting together a team that I want to see out there on the field. What do the super fans want to see when they put a team together? Well, they're in the process right now of performing the super fan super mock draft. You're going to hear that show sometime before the NFL draft. I don't know when the next episode, honestly, of Next Fan Up is going to drop. That's why it's key to be a subscriber or a follower wherever great podcasts are heard. Apple Podcasts, you subscribe, you get the next episode automatically downloaded for free. There's no cost to you whatsoever. On Spotify, you become a follower, and the same thing happens. The next new episode automatically gets loaded into your feed. It's ready to go for you when it's ready and available. And since I don't know when the next episode is going to be ready and available, what a great process. What a wonderful world we live in. So email us, nextfanup@gmail.com. You can tweet us at NFU Podcast, facebook.com/NFU Podcast. Those are great ways to get in contact with us. We'd love to hear from you. Hey, we'd love to do a show with you. If you wanted to come on and talk a little bit about football, get your mind away from some of the things that are happening out there in the real world, we'd love to have you on. So just send us an email, give us a topic to talk about. We'll make it happen. That's what we do here. We are all about you. So until next time, and who knows when next time will be, stay safe, wash your hands, keep your hands off your face. There you have it.
I never even heard his interview, so I don't know the context in which it was said. I don't know what he said before. I don't know what he said after. So I still haven't seen it. I'm not going to watch it. I don't care, But I've got no ill will towards Jay. There's no feud between me and Jay. I think we lost the game. He said what he said, and we're moving on. That's in the past now.